What is up, guys? Jaguars at Jets. Tomorrow night. Thursday night football under the lights. It is do or die for either team. The Jets are 7-7. The Jaguars are 6-8. It's going to be a cold, rainy night in East Rutherford, New Jersey. I'm going to be at the game. Sorry about the lateness of this video. I'm actually in New York right now, in Times Square. It's actually my hotel room, and I am so freaking excited for this game. Just the experience of it, being back here, my first time going to a home game in 4 years. It's been a long time. It's been one thing after another with my scheduling and everything's going on in life, but I'm excited to be back. So let's get right into it. I'm not going to waste too much time. Like I said, I'll be at the game. Real quick, on the last note, look out for this sign, guys. This is my sign. Give you guys a sneak preview of what you're going to see tomorrow. Hopefully they show it on TV. I'll be in the front row. I'll be in section 117, which is kind of like here. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Brees Hall sauce. It's all backwards. We belong in the playoffs. 10-7 on the table. Sauce, Quinn, Garrett, and Brees Hall. But anyway, yeah. So the Jets are 7-7. The Jaguars are 6-8. Get right into it. You know, last year the Jets and Jags played in the exact same week of December. It was December 26th, I believe, they actually played last year, the day after Christmas. This year they're playing a few days before Christmas, and it's in New York again. So what are some key factors? Well, the weather is one key factor. It's going to be a cold, rainy night in MetLife Stadium. I know it's supposed to rain starting at like 11 a.m. tomorrow and rain all through Friday and Thursday. So, yeah, it's going to be a mess. The field's probably going to be a mess. With it being turf, it doesn't really like produce mud or anything like that. But it's going to be slippery and dangerous. And it's going to be cold. Not terribly cold. I think it's like maybe 40, 45. So it's actually a warmer day for New York at this time of the year. But regardless, a Jacksonville, Florida team coming from the 60s is coming to play in 60s and 70s, is coming to play in the 50s, 40s, and probably like 39 actually tomorrow night. So the Jets have got that in their favor. They've got the home field advantage. They've got the weather. Let's see if the fans show up. From what I'm hearing, a lot of people are canceling their tickets. I'm hearing a lot of people are saying they don't want to do it because of the weather. You know, I just got one thing to say about that. You saw last weekend, and I know it's a different team, different scenario, but you saw last weekend there was a game up in Orchard Park, and it was -8 degrees or -7 degrees, and it was snowing. And that place, I did not see an empty seat there. I saw fans literally embracing the weather, throwing snowballs at each other, throwing snowballs at the Dolphin players. They really embraced that home field advantage. It was loud, it was chaotic, it was energetic, and I'm just hoping that the Jet fans can do that, something similar to that tomorrow night. Have it loud, have it pumping. This is our last chance to make a run for the playoffs. All we need to do is get in, find a way to win. So how do the Jets do that? Let's get right into the matchup. So obviously when the season started, the Jets had Brees Hall. They had the running attack, and they had a offensive identity that was centered around that run. Brees Hall could also catch out of the backfield. He could set up the play action. He could block. He could do everything. Since he's been gone, the Jets have been 2-5. 2-5. And they have quite literally almost abandoned the run game. Other than the Bills game, where they wanted to beat the Bills, and maybe a game or here or there, they have not tried to run the ball. They've tried, but they have not done it with success. So what does that mean for a cold game, right? End of the season, a rainy game. Well, first of all, we don't got Mike White playing. We have Zach Wilson playing. So we're going to have to figure out how to run the ball. Jacksonville is one of the worst teams in the league defensively. So we're going to have our chances in their secondary. I believe they've got like 3 key starters out. I know their left tackle Cam Robinson is out. And they just announced today a couple other guys. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. One of them's a defensive player, I believe. Two of them. So the Jets have got to take advantage. They've got to stop messing around. They've got to run the ball well. I don't know what happened with Zonovan Knight last week. I don't know if they tried to run him and he couldn't run and he got hurt. But even before he got hurt, I don't think he was doing much. It was really strange. Seeing how explosive he was the last couple weeks. You know what I mean? It seems like the Jets have just tried to do too much in the past game. And they've made errors. Let's not force Zach Wilson to fully progress himself and develop himself in the last 2 games of the season. Last 3 games of the season. Let's run the ball. Let's make the Jacksonville beat us in the air. Right? Let's stop their run game. Travis Etienne, stop him. Throw him down. Trevor Lawrence is playing probably the best football of his career so far. Slow him down. Hit him. Get to him. Pressure him. Last year, I was watching the highlights actually earlier today of their game last year. And it was the 1 pick versus the 2 pick. It was Zach versus Trevor. Trevor versus Zach. And it's so crazy because everyone seems to have forgotten that matchup. Now, I know the teams are totally different. But, I mean, Zach made a play in that game that really made you think, this guy is dangerous. And it just seemed like, I know the records were different. I think the Jags were 2-14 or something like that. Or 2-12, and the Jets were like 3-11 or something like that. You know what I mean? They're fighting for the top 5 pick. But that game, it just seemed like guys were having fun. Zach Wilson ran for like a 40-yard touchdown run or something like it. Some Lamar Jackson play. Braxton Berrios had a 103-yard kickoff return touchdown. Connor McDermott caught a touchdown pass, offensive lineman. So, I mean, it comes down to having fun, but it comes down to playing fundamentally sound football in the rain at home. So the Jets defense up against Trevor Lawrence and that high-octane offense that Jacksonville runs. Zay Jones is playing. They don't have their left tackle, Cam Robinson. Quentin Williams is supposed to be back. That should be huge. Obviously, interior rushers don't go against the left tackles typically, but that's going to set up plays because they're going to have to double-team Quentin, like the teams have always done if he plays. It's really something to watch right there if Quentin plays. Even if he doesn't play, I think the Jets still get pressure just because Jacksonville's O-line has been suspect and they haven't had like tremendous play consistently the whole year. But with Cam Robinson being out, it's definitely something to watch for. With all that being said, it's going to come down to field goals. It's going to come down to, making the field position count in your favor, which the Jets did not do well last week. I mean, they did well, but Braden Mann, it's just been terrible. Point blank, the kid looks like Spider-Man. Maybe he should be in the running for the next Avengers movie or something like that because dude cannot punt a ball to save his life. And he punts it inbounds and he punts it short. And they're always returnable. They're always straight. There's no hang time whatsoever to his punts. I don't know what his deal is, man. But he's going to have to play better. He's going to have to. You know what I mean? And then, with Zach Wilson, my thing with him is try putting touch on your balls a little bit more. Like, Jesus Christ. I think he had 3 or 4 plays last week where he was zipping the ball still on basic slant passes or out routes, swing routes, checkdowns. Really weird stuff. To see 3 weeks later that he's still making those same mistakes. But he did have fun last week. That's one point I want to make before I close this out. Zach had fun last week. He did a pass very similar to his pro day where he rolled left and threw across his body down the field to C.J. Uzomah, who's on the right side of the field. And it was a touchdown pass. You know what I mean? Things like that he can make. He is a playmaking quarterback. Zach Wilson's a playmaking quarterback. He just needs to get the easy stuff down. Mike White makes the easy look easy. Mike White can't make the difficult stuff. You know what I mean? He's not a playmaking quarterback, but he's a Josh McCown, going to complete the pass type of guy. So, all in all, the Jets have 10 days of rest after this, so the team will look very differently against their next opponent, which is the Seahawks in Seattle on New Year's Day. Things will look very differently. For right now, this is a must-win game for the Jets. And I think with all these factors playing into, with the Cam Robinson injury, With Jacksonville playing on a short week, having to come up to New York in the cold, rainy weather, I don't think this is a game the Jets should lose. I just don't. I don't see it. Maybe you guys do. Leave a comment below. Score prediction, whatever y'all want to drop, and I'll check it out. But I got the Jets win this game. I think they'll win it 21-10. I don't see Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's going to make a lot of mistakes. I think the Jet defense from last year when they played Trevor Lawrence and were able to neutralize their attack for the most part, I think they're 10 times better than they were last year, the Jet defense is. And I see them having a monstrous game on the defensive side of the ball. With it being in the elements, with a short week of rest, with injuries happening on that offensive line for Jacksonville, Trevor's blind side's going to be exposed. And the emotional win they had against Dallas last week, I think that's going to hang over, loom large. The Jets are desperate at home. They're going to win this game. It's the home finale, and I'm going to be there. Look out for me, guys. Section 117, right next to the end zone. When the Jets score, you're going to see the sign go up. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys at the game if anyone's there. Love you guys. Jet up. Let's go, baby. Get this win. Get to 8-7. And then win out, because we got to.